Own it early. You hear that and maybe you tilt your head, squint a little, you're thinking, what exactly am I supposed to own, or early compared to who? But that's the thing. It's not about comparing your timeline to someone else's. This ain't about a race. It's not a deadline. It's a mindset. You hear the phrase and it sounds like advice, maybe even a slogan. But I hear it like a mirror being held up to your face, a challenge, a nudge from something deeper inside of you. Own it early means stepping into who you were meant to be before the world tells you who to become. Because let's be honest, life will try to name you before you name yourself. It'll give you labels. It'll hand you roles, expectations, pressure. If you don't define who you are early, somebody else will. And once that happens, you're not living. You're reacting. So when I say own it early, I'm talking about claiming your space, your value, your voice. I'm talking about walking into every room like your purpose preceded you, not in arrogance, but in awareness. You've got to recognize what's in you before the world recognizes it for you. Because by the time they do, it's too late to negotiate with their version of your life. See, there's a difference between discovering your power and deciding to own it. Most folks wait for success to show up with a certificate before they take themselves seriously. They wait for titles, for trophies, for applause. But let me tell you something real. The applause doesn't come until you clap for yourself first. You don't wait for permission to be great. You don't schedule your purpose like an appointment. You decide, right now, right here, today. That's what own it early really means. It's not about time. It's about timing, and the right time is now. Let me tell you something about owning it early. When you start with ownership, everything else follows differently. See, people think success shows up with a knock on the door, but real success, it shows up the moment you say, this is mine to carry. This is mine to build. This is mine to fight for. Imagine a house being built, the foundation, that's ownership, that's commitment before applause, that's vision before validation. Now if that foundation is weak, if you build it off doubt, fear, hesitation, everything else will crumble when the weight of life hits. And trust me, life will hit. But if you lay that foundation early, if you plant your feet and say, I may not have it all figured out, but I'm taking responsibility for my path, then storms can come and go and you're still standing. You might bend, but you won't break. You might get pushed, but you won't fold because you're not leaning on luck. You're standing on choice. When you own something early, your craft, your dream, your discipline, you give it the chance to mature with you. You don't wait for the right resources. You start with what you have. You don't wait for the world to say you're enough. You look in the mirror and decide you are. And the truth is, there's a fire in you that burns brighter the earlier you feed it. The earlier you show up for your life, the stronger your roots grow. The stronger your voice becomes. You stop chasing trends and start living with conviction. You ever see someone walk into a room and you don't even know their name, but you feel them? That's not charisma. That's not luck. That's ownership. That's someone who made peace with their identity before anyone else had a chance to define it. So don't wait for the world to believe in you. Believe in yourself early. Pour into your gift early. Build your habits, your mindset, your standard early. Because if you plant discipline early, you'll harvest freedom later. If you plant purpose early, you'll harvest legacy later. That's the power in this thing. That's the beauty in it. When you own it early, you stop playing defense with your future. You stop negotiating with your potential. You stop being surprised when greatness shows up, because you expected it, you prepared for it, and you prepared early. I remember this moment clear as day. I was about 20 years old, young, restless. I had time to figure everything out. Thought life was this long hallway I could walk down at my own pace. No rush, right? I'm sitting in my mother's beauty shop. Now, if you've ever been in one, you know, it ain't just a place for hair. That's a temple. That's where wisdom gets passed around like gossip, where old women speak truth and don't care if it stings. So I'm there, slouched in the corner half, listening to conversations, thinking about everything and nothing at the same time. And out of nowhere, this woman, I didn't know her, hadn't spoken to her. She stops what she's doing, turns to me, looks me dead in the eye and says, "You're gonna travel the world. You're gonna speak to millions." Now listen, I wasn't doing anything to deserve that kind of prophecy. I wasn't out here auditioning or chasing fame. I was just existing. But that moment, that voice, it cut through the noise of everything else. She saw something in me I hadn't seen in myself yet, and here's the part that stayed with me. I had a choice. I could have laughed it off, shrugged it away, let doubt creep in like it always does when someone puts something big on your spirit. But instead I chose to own it, not because I knew how, not because I had it all mapped out, but because deep down, something in me said, "Why not you?" That was the day I stopped waiting, the day I stopped looking around for someone to give me permission to dream. I started walking like my steps meant something, talking like my words carried weight. I wasn't successful yet. I didn't have credits to my name or cameras in my face, but I carried myself like someone who had purpose, like someone who belonged to the life he wanted to live, and that changed everything. Let me tell you, owning it early doesn't mean you fake confidence. It means you stand in your potential even when it still looks like a maybe. It means you honor the calling before the confirmation, because the truth is that woman in the salon didn't give me a gift. She just reminded me of something I already had, and the moment I owned it, the moment I said yes to it, doors started opening, not all at once, not without pain, but with purpose. You don't wait for your dream to knock politely. You meet it at the door, you open it. You say, "I've been expecting you." Even if you're scared, even if you're broke, even if you failed a dozen times before. That was the moment I learned something I carry with me to this day. The dream doesn't become real when the world believes in you. It becomes real when you do. Let's talk about the part nobody likes to admit out loud. The reasons we don't move, the reasons we don't act, the reasons we hold back when everything in us knows we're built for more. We've all got a voice in our head. You know the one. It doesn't shout, it whispers, smooth, sneaky, sounds reasonable. That voice says, "You're not ready yet. Give it time. Just wait until you have more money, more experience, more support." It tells you, don't risk it now. Play it safe, don't look foolish. Don't fail. And you start listening. You start negotiating with your own potential. Start putting your power on layaway, waiting for some perfect moment that doesn't exist. That voice, man, it's comfortable, but comfort is a trap. It's dressed up like wisdom, but it's fear in disguise. Let me be real with you. Most people don't get beat by the world. They get beat by their own hesitation. We let distractions become detours. We let doubt become direction. We wait for clarity like it's going to be handed to us on a silver plate. But clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. You move first, then the road reveals itself. See, life doesn't pause for you to feel ready. It doesn't care if you're nervous. It doesn't care if you're tired. Life is happening. Time is moving. The clock doesn't stop ticking just because you're scared to take a step. And yeah, people are gonna talk. They're gonna question you. You'll hear things like, "Who do you think you are?" Or "That's not realistic." But let me tell you, those voices get real quiet when they see results. They don't question the outcome, they only question the beginning. So own your beginning, own it loud. The obstacles, they're real. The bills, the family pressure, the rejection, the failures, they're all part of the story, but they're not the reason to stop. They're the reason to start stronger, because every excuse you hold on to becomes a wall between you and who you're meant to be. I've heard it all. I didn't grow up with much. Neither did I. I've made mistakes. So have I. People don't support me. Sometimes they won't. But hear me. It is not your responsibility to convince everyone else before you commit to yourself. You don't need a crowd. You need courage. You don't need guarantees. You need grit. Because when you own it early, you don't wait for the green light. You become green light. You tell the fear, "Ride with me if you want." But I'm driving. You tell the doubt, "You can watch, but you don't get to vote." Excuses, yeah, they'll always be there, but so will opportunity, and one of them is going to win. So what does it really mean? Known it early, it means you stop waiting for life to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Okay, now you're allowed to shine." It means you stop auditioning for your own future. It means you stop putting your dreams on layaway like they're something you might get around to one day if everything lines up just right. No, it means you pick up the pen and you start writing the story before anyone else can draft your chapters for you. It means you lead without a title. You speak before the microphone shows up. You work like the opportunity is already yours, even if nobody's watching yet. Because guess what? The world doesn't need another person waiting to feel ready. The world needs someone bold enough to step forward in the middle of the uncertainty and say, I'm not perfect. I'm not finished, but I'm here. And I'm not going back. Owning it early doesn't mean you've got it all figured out. It means you show up anyway. It means you don't ask the mountain if it's ready for you. You climb. It means you don't need the applause to know your voice matters. You speak because truth deserves to be heard. You have to stop asking life for permission. There is no right time. There's just time, and either you use it or you lose it. Either you command it or it commands you. Either you live on a fence with your purpose or you drift through someone else's design. This isn't about ego, it's about ownership. It's about responsibility. It's about realizing that whatever you don't claim, someone else will control. So I'm asking you, no, I'm challenging you. What are you waiting for? Another sign, another nod, another year of playing small while your potential collects dust on the shelf. Nah. Now is the moment. This is the line in the sand. Own your talent. Own your scars. Own your story. Own the dream that won't let you sleep at night. Because if you don't, someone else is going to decide for you who you were meant to be, and you'll be stuck living a version of life that never fit you to begin with. You were made for more. You know it. I know it. And deep down, even the people who doubt you, they know it too. So own it early. Own it while it's still scary. Own it while it's still fragile. Own it before it's popular. Own it before the lights hit, before the stage is built, before the world claps. Because if you can do that, if you can rise before you're recognized, then the world won't just see your success. They'll feel your conviction, and that's what changes everything. Now I've said a lot tonight, and if you remember nothing else, remember this. You don't have to be perfect. Start. You just have to start. You don't need all the answers. You just need the courage to raise your hand and say, this is mine. Your dream, your identity, your purpose, your legacy. Own it early, because life moves fast. Too fast to wait for the stars to align. Too fast to wait for someone to tell you you're worthy. You already are. You don't need permission. You need to make a decision. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Don't wait for the world to believe in you. Believe anyway. Don't wait until you've made it. To show up like you were born for this. Walk like you're already on purpose. Speak like every word matters. Move like time is precious, because it is. The future doesn't belong to those who delay, it belongs to those who decide. So tonight, right here, right now, I challenge you. Whatever your gift is, your calling, your vision, step into it. Don't just dream about it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just pray about it. Own it, and own it early, because the world is waiting for the version of you that only you can deliver. And if you don't show up, no one else will.